Welcome to the Austin LGBT Chamber of Commerce podcast. I'm Tina Cannon, your host and CEO of the Chamber. On today's pod, we're going to talk local business headlines in the news this week. SBA is writing off billions of COVID-area small business loans. The city's looking to expand a budget for recipients of the Live Music Fund. And Texas lawmakers are going to ban THC. What? We'll be right back. Welcome everybody. Welcome, Colton and Fiona. How are y'all doing today?
Hey.
Hello.
Doing great. Thank you very much. Thrilled about the gala weekend. Congratulations, team. Well done.
Still recovering.
Yeah, still recovering. Feeling a little better.
Yeah, if you're listening and you didn't go, that's what FOMO homo feels like. Yeah, it was a good time. 500 of our closest friends. Supporters. Mm-hmm. It's great stuff.
Yep.
Gave out tons of money.
I rode a mechanical bull for the first time.
Y'all, brother rode a bull.
I think it was moving like in negative speed. Still threw me off.
Yes, we had mechanical bull. We had armadillo races. They were treated with kid gloves and care. Didn't realize how heavy they were.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick one up?
I did.
And
I did.
Did you race one? Did you?
Well, I sort of stood behind it.
Okay. I mean, how were you meant to race it? 'Cause
You're just supposed to kind of like you wear big giant like construction worker gloves, and you're just supposed to kind of guide them down the alleyway.
Yeah.
But they're going to go where they want to go.
So
And for those listening, alleyway. This is indoors.
So I shared this with my family in the UK. My dad always has questions. And my dad wanted to know how long it takes to train an armadillo to race.
Well,
I had no idea.
That's a great question.
I think we should find that one out. I'll find that one
probably
out.
one day, because then you realize you can't. You just.
They were cute.
They were cute. They were a lot cuter than I expected. They smelled a little bit, but they were fine. It was just nice for me to see one that was alive. I've lived in Texas 30-something years, and I've never seen one for real.
Yeah.
I touched its ear.
Okay.
Was it soft?
He told me to take my glove off, and he was like, "Just pet its ear."
Because it looked like the little Shrek ear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like this like trombone-y looking thing sticking
Very
out of its
leathery.
head. Red leather.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow.
So it was leathery, not
And they're like
furry.
hairy underneath.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad I wore gloves.
Yeah. I didn't touch that part, but
This weekend will be much more chill. I know everybody's got holiday parties
Yep.
every day of the week, it seems like. Please keep the invitations coming. Send chocolate to our office if you feel the need. Or booze. We're game for either. Yeah. Happy to
prefer booze. Will accept chocolate.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some local headlines. The Small Business Administration is looking to write off billions in some of those COVID area small business loans. The ABJ has a full story, but basically the SBA has again written off billions. They are, they just don't have the necessary system in place, quite frankly, to keep track of which loans are eligible for hardship programs. So you're going to need to reach out. But the data around the SBA has charged off $16.8 billion from that economic injury disaster loan program back in 24 that ended in September. It's about 6.5% of the total portfolio the agency is still servicing, which is only roughly 2.3 million loans. That's it, just 2.3 million loans, not $1 million, million loans valued at $287 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I think that loan program obviously was needed during COVID. It came fast and furious. I just felt like the bridle came off. Like it just went wild. It just went nuts.
I remember this very clearly as somebody who is a small business owner, although I like to say it's a growing empire.
Right.
Who's now joined the chamber on staff. Yay! But I remember I'd been living in Brooklyn until March 2020, and I decided I need to get the hell out of Brooklyn, and I drove down to Lake Jackson outside of Houston and stayed with my friend during those.
Wait,
Yeah.
you went from Brooklyn to Lake Jackson.
Anyone know Lake
Wow.
Jackson?
Oh, yeah.
Very conservative town outside of Houston. I drove myself as well, by the way. But I remember, like, my CPA, who I no longer work with, was like, Fiona, you need to apply for this right now. And I'm like, hell no. Like, that looks really dodgy to me. Like, I was so scared. He's like, yeah, you can get all this money. I'm like, no, I'm too scared of having to try and pay it back or figure it out. And
It
maybe
came fast and
I mean,
furious.
it was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had the chamber acted like an information clearinghouse.
Oh, gosh.
So we would get calls from our elected representatives mainly at the federal level. Thank you, Lloyd Doggett, in your office. You guys are great. And then we would field calls from all of our members asking questions about how to, what to, where do I go, who do I turn to, and then, or we'd get feedback from members saying, okay, I did all that, but I can't do it because of this.
Yeah.
And then we'd pick up the phone and call Doggett's office, and he would literally run down to the House floor and pass amendments. But they were like hundreds of amendments because this thing came out so fast.
Yep.
You know, it was well intended, but I mean, there's still unused funds at the end of it. So it was good. I think, but for it, we would have slid into a massive recession.
Correct.
Massive.
Yeah.
But like all things, it's hard to balance, and I think they probably could have pulled the reins back in a little bit. But yeah, if you got one of those loans, you're feeling pretty good now.
Well done.
Because they are charging off those loans. So, but definitely check with your accountant to make sure that you are in a good shape. And any questions, contact the SBA. But our friends at the ABJ have some links on their website. Under that article, you can learn more about it. The city is looking to expand the budget mainly around the live music fund. Our friends over at the Austin Monitor have the full story, but the city appears set to increase the number of awards in its live music fund grant program. Specific considerations are going to be given to the needs of veteran and emerging artists looking to promote events or create work that could enhance the local tourism economy. So there was about 137 grants that they gave out earlier this year from about 1,000 applicants. I think a lot of folks were a little miffed that some of the awards are only at like the $15,000 level, which, you know, for individual artists, which was just too big. And then for it's a big project, it's just too small.
Yeah.
And so I think they're really trying to right size the program, but they're looking to increase the budget to $4.8 million to fund about 60 different artists with different levels of grants for small to larger size artists. So I'm excited for that. And 17 of those will be allotted at the $60,000 range for the venues. But I think that the program's great. It doesn't come directly from like straight property tax dollars. Like it's not you and I paying for it. It's coming from what's called hot tax, the hotel occupancy tax. So those are the folks who are coming into our city because of the live music. They pay a tax on their hotel room, and portions of those proceeds will go into this fund.
This is amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's hard to be the live music capital if we can't afford to have our artists.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. I love it. I love just all of the music, all of the arts here in Austin. It's great. I love when you land at the airport and you've got live music.
Oh, yeah.
And they're greeting you at like, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. It's great.
Yeah, I agreed. You know, we used to have a whole lot more. You used to be able to go up and down 6th Street and really feel all the vibes coming out of all the venues, but it's become harder and harder for venue operators to maintain. It's become harder and harder for our musicians to be able to afford to live here. But this is the full creative spectrum, too, not just music as well.
I still love going to Seaboys and Continental Club on South Congress.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Continental Club's got a
it's
good
like
vibe.
old vibe.
Yeah.
I like it.
Continental Club, I live right near Saxon Pub. That's a great little vibe in there.
I love that one too.
Yeah.
Beautiful at Christmas, scary at Halloween.
Yeah, yeah.
Or is that? No, that's the
Gibson.
other one.
Gibson down
Never
the way.
mind.
Yeah. But their AV guy's a little scary. Like, you don't want to mess with him.
Okay.
He's
He's
very,
the Halloween.
Yeah, he's very serious there at the Saxon Pub. Everybody in music land knows him. I don't know his name because I'm not cool enough to know his name, but I just know to stay out of his way when he's setting up for a band.
But our friend Julie F. and Nolan
She knows him.
knows it.
She plays there a lot. Yeah. Yeah, live music is just like South Congress. It's only going to survive if people go out and support it.
Yeah. Maybe I think it sounds like we need to go have a trip to Saxon, actually.
I
I
think
haven't
so.
been for a while. And
It's a good spot. I
It
can't
is.
do the big ones.
yeah. I'd much rather, like, ACL is great, but I really love going to the smaller venues as well.
Yeah,
Especially when you're 5'1". and
Same.
you
same.
You can actually like get close enough without feeling like you're about to be trampled on. That would be amazing.
We could put you in the armadillo races. Next year, we're going to have Fiona races. You and I would just be like in a little cage, and they can be coaxing us along to race.
Do we get to go on our knees? Let's see who can make our hard shells for us.
But yeah, I think that's probably why I don't like going to the big music venues, because I can never see.
No, me
It's
neither.
always, bless their heart, and it could be someone 5'7", and they're still going
Yeah.
to block me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel bad. I have a friend of mine, he's really tall, and he's just like, I know I have to always go to the back, but once I would like to stand in the front.
I mean, if you're 5'5", you're blocking me. I can't see.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. But
What if they
definitely,
gave everyone like under 5'7" VIP?
that would be great. That should be like,
I would cut my legs off. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Or we should just come in with like those drywall stilts those guys wear when they're doing painting and all that.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Nobody would even notice that you and I had stilts on. They'd just be like, oh, hey.
Yeah. For me,
Sup?
they think I'm just wearing my heels.
But go out, take yourself out, see some live music. We don't want to wake up 20 years from now and realize that we didn't do enough to support our musicians by showing the freak up. Just go. You got friends and family coming in town. We all do for the holidays. Go take them to see a show. You don't have to know the artist. That's the neat thing. Just go wander in somewhere and find some great music and support your live music scene here in town. Governor Patrick vows to ban THC in Texas. So Texas lawmakers are looking at a bill promoted by Governor Dan Patrick. Proposed legislation will put small businesses and those who rely on the legal sale of THC products in the legislative's crosshairs. They back in 2019, they legalized certain forms of consumable hemp, including products containing small amounts of hemp-delivered THC, like edibles, vapes, and traditional bud. Patrick, though, said that he is going to prioritize this bill in the upcoming session that would ban all forms of consumable THC being sold in the Lone Star states.
And so this...
It's humorous because that's never going to happen.
Boo. No, I'm just kidding.
This just can't.
So, but this includes like the Delta 8, Delta 9.
All of it. All
of
these
those.
little small businesses that you see popping up all over the state.
And right across the street here.
Gone. He wants to outlaw that because, it's a gateway drug.
I was going to say, like, why? Why? What's the motivation?
I'm going to assume the
doing this?
religious Bible wannabe belt is probably saying it's a gateway drug and it should go away.
Well, when reading the story, he said that the products contain unlimited THC
Do they?
and are marketing them to children.
I wish they
which
contained
I
unlimited.
find interesting because on every door of these places, you have to be 21 to enter.
Right.
And so I find
it's
it
not like
hard
they're
to
just
believe that
laying
they
around.
would sell to a child.
They're all in a case or behind them on a bookshelf. Like, it's not like you can just... It's not like it's a liquor store and you can just walk in and grab it off the shelf.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's right. Yeah. There's a lot of farmers in South Texas that have built industries around this now since 2019 and before, really kind of waiting for that legislation to open up. What gets me is like...
Well, and it's like textiles. It's so many other things.
Yeah. So he's looking to put out of business the ag folks who are involved in this and then the small business operators. But, he's not making any accommodation for anything that has to do with medical at all. Of course, the folks on the other side of the Hemp Federation will be fighting against that. But he calls it the life-threatening products.
I was wondering how that would work with medical licenses.
I feel like he's a life-threatening product
Yeah.
because he threatens my life on every legislative session. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it too is just fundraising, right? So he gets his base wound up and they support him with funding and then nothing will happen. We hope.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a story a while back on the pod around, was it Colorado, that have maxed out the amount of money that they're collecting in sales tax off of these things and have actually reduced property taxes as a result.
Yeah.
Like,
Amazing.
it's a revenue source. It's a taxing revenue source. And when was the last time that you heard of anybody that, I don't know, went to the hemp store or whatever you call these stores and then went and robbed a bank or beat up their spouse?
Right.
Like, what is life-threatening about these?
Right.
People ODing on a little THC stick, whatever they're
No.
called? No.
No. Don't think it really
I
happened.
don't understand. There are bigger things to do, like paying our teachers, making sure our roads are safe. Like, let's be real. If you have an interesting news segment about your local business that you want us to share, email us at info@austinlgbtch. Wow.
You did it.
I need some THC. Calm my ass down.
I did think you were going to say THC.com.
Too many letters. And during the gala, I was trying to announce our keynote speaker. You know, I say LGBT like more than I say my name. And his bio said that he was from the LBJ School of Public Affairs. And I was so tongue twisted trying to say that at the gala. But yes.
Because if you want to move the B up further, I'm not complaining. It should be BLGT.
BLG. Those are
BT actually should be BTLG. Or we should put some QIA.
That's what my wife calls a very young lesbian when she sees them. She's always like, "Oh, look at the little BLT." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Baby lesbian in training." We have a new segment that we've been playing with on the show ever since Fiona has joined us. This is Fun Facts with Fiona. What do you got for us today? Boggle our minds.
Okay, so I decided to take these news stories and kind of mix them up and see what came out of ChatGPT. So we recently honored World AIDS Day on December the 1st. And then yesterday, December 10th, was Human Rights Day. So I combined these events with the news of our lawmakers potentially pursuing a ban on legal THC products. And I found the following, that we actually have queer, trailblazing cannabis activism. So the modern medical cannabis movement owes much of its progress to the LGBTQ plus community, particularly during the AIDS crisis of the 1980s and 90s. Activists like Dennis Perron, a gay man and cannabis advocate in San Francisco, championed the use of THC to help alleviate symptoms of AIDS-related illnesses.
Wow.
I know.
That's a mouthful.
We queer activists are all over the place doing all kinds of stuff.
We're always ahead of it.
Changing the world.
Doing the good work.
I know. And it's so important to uplift our stories. And so, you know, I wonder whether the Texas lawmakers will take that into consideration.
Highly doubtful. They don't take just general humanity. Yeah, well,
But I love the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was, it's in San Francisco, not Austin, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But I love like finding out historic facts of how people have been doing trailblazing things and we weren't aware of it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
And it's because we don't. And it's storytelling that shares history. And within our community, especially, there's not a class that is taught, certainly in high school, not in Texas, anytime soon, around, what impact our community has had on the rest of society, right?
Yeah.
There's other history months that we learn about things, but there's certainly not our history month in that sense, right? Yeah. Everybody just assumes it's a parade and we're done. But I think it's important to highlight those stories and those interesting queer facts and how it's relevant to our world today. Yeah. Thank you for sharing the Fiona's fun queer facts with Fiona. Colton, I know you don't have shit until the end of the year because we just had a gala, but how are you?
It's true. I'm feeling good now, feeling rested. We had an amazing gala, like we said earlier. We also were able to give away $60,000 in small business grants through our partnership with the NGLCC and Grubhub, which was amazing to see.
It was.
That was a first for the gala. We gave away 3 scholarships to LGBTQ plus students. 11 awards. You can find out more information about that at AustinLGBTChamber.com. Photos will be out as soon as Facebook is back up. I don't know. Facebook was down. Hates me.
Zuck is taking the week off. He's too busy trying to compete with Blue Sky. He's trying to get that figured out. I can't keep track of which social media platform I'm supposed to be on.
I can't either.
Well, you're supposed to. Like, I don't know how. Your age group is supposed to be all over. I'm probably not even on the right one.
I don't even do social media myself anymore. It's just for
work.
Yeah, just for work.
Fine, that's fair. I mean, where else?
It's too much.
It saves me though. At night, I know it's. Is TikTok being shut down? Because I watch it at night.
Oh, I do too.
Is that what you say? Do you say you watch TikTok?
I don't. Well,
or you
I
look
don't.
at TikTok?
I don't actually.
I watch it.
I watch the funny cat videos.
Yeah.
So if the Chinese are trying to infiltrate my brain with funny cat videos, they're winning because it's in my brain.
I'm pretty sure I watched Wicked like clips and interviews for like 3 hours last night. That's like my entire For You page is Wicked.
I guess I'm going to have to see that. Have you seen that?
No, but I am chomping at the bit to go.
She's
see
a fan.
Wicked. A huge fan.
Are you a musical
Yes.
fan?
Yeah, yes, medium musical fan, but Wicked is my absolute favorite. I've seen it 3 times on
Oh.
Broadway. It's one of my alarm clock songs, Defying Gravity. It's my visualization. I have my eyes shut and I know exactly what I'm manifesting in my life as I listen to Defying Gravity.
You should do THC while you do that.
Obsessed with it.
I'm not a musical fan, even though I grew up loving Doris Day movies. Mm-hmm. I think it's just because I had a big girl crush on Doris Day, but not a musical fan. But I will do my gay part and go see Wicked.
I just think the story of Wicked
Yeah.
is beautiful.
It is.
I mean, and everyone kind of knows the story of the Wizard of Oz, which takes place during the timeline of Wicked.
Yeah.
But there's just so much more,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful and amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you talked me into going to see Barbie last year, and I went to see that, and I loved it. I
Good.
made other people go. Had a great message.
Well, I almost forgot about Barbie as soon as I watched this one.
Oh, okay. It's getting
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, for those of us that feel like we have big dreams and ambitions and everyone else thinks we're absolutely off our rockers for trying, Wicked kind of helps you feel, no,
Okay.
you can do absolutely anything you want.
And to all who feel othered,
Yep, othered, isolated, misunderstood, othered on all the different ways.
All right,
Yeah.
you sold me on it. I'm going to go see it. As always, thank you for joining the Austin LGBT Chamber Podcast. If you want to become a member or check out our member events happening in January, go to austinlgbtchamber.com. If you want to be a guest or a sponsor, you can email us at info@austinlgbtchamber.com. Listen to our show every Friday wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to follow the show. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.